are some lies in our science books. Taught it for 15 years. Even though I'm not teaching it anymore, I still like the study. There's so many neat things to learn. We're going to cover some of that tonight.
Perception is being managed. We are being steered and guided by a hidden hand.
The whole world has been duped by the media that is not real.
Smart thinking, possible time traveler, smart thinking.
That night, boom, contact memory.
And then just, Alex, if you don't agree, you'll be sent to a re-education camp.
Just because I'm old doesn't mean I've lost my touch with the ladies.
A lot of people here tonight feel like they lost. You know why?
Now, experts are suggesting that we're in a golden age of shape-shifting reptilian sightings. Now, why is that?
I was, and still am, a huge conspiracy guy. I literally ran out of new tin hat topics to research.
It was most definitely not capable of melting steel.
Then I would be a crackpot if I thought that was the case.
Welcome to the Hypothetical Institute, a podcast about conspiracies.
My name's Luke.
I'm Cam. Bloody, how good was that? Seamless.
It was seamless, like riding a bike, Cam.
Now, Robbo, is there a No Dogs Club theme tune or something to play?
There is, but it's not actually in a No Dogs Club because we're not talking about animals. But let's play it anyway because I really like it. I think I did a good job.
Okay.
No.
I haven't actually listened to it. I've just seen it on at the top of the screen.
Oh, you've heard it. Have you not heard it before?
No, because I don't listen to them.
Oh, okay. It's good, eh?
That's how much of a dog I am.
Yeah, jeez.
But Salty's the dog this week.
Yeah. He's had a big weekend. He was at Boo Fest, which was it's like a weirdo art market, said with love.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think he was selling some stuff. Listener Jake was there, friend of the show Jake. Stopped by and picked up some salty, I think she got a salty pickle patch that says Pickle Daddy.
Nice one.
But after all that marketing, and he was part of the organisation in some way. I think he designed some of the props and stuff. So, yeah, a little snooze, old salty.
Fair enough. Can't fault him that.
No.
Robbo, let's talk about some conspiracies. A little recap of maybe what's been going on.
Yeah, this ain't going to be a comprehensive recap, I don't think.
No, well, yeah, I think we've left it too long for that. There's too much has happened.
Yeah. I mean, there's the things that I noted down were, and Charlie Kirk's the big one. I've tried to get some juice going and like really, because there's a few conspiracies around like people in the background making hand signals.
Yeah. Can I just say about Charlie Kirk?
Yes.
And cancel me if you must. But no. You know how sometimes you make up a guy? You know the concept of making up a guy to get mad at?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, here's the guy I made up. Like a Disney adult. You know Disney adults? Like a Disney guy who can't go to Disney because he spouted off about Charlie Kirk online, and so like he can't get into America. That's the guy I made up.
Right.
And then I realized
was he negative towards Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, you know all these guys who like said something about Charlie Kirk, like tough luck, dickhead.
Yeah.
And then when they go to America, someone pulls the tweet up at customs.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what's this about, sir? And they're like, oh, I guess
Which did happen, right?
Yeah, it's happened a bunch of. I saw one the other day where some guy has been sitting, basically since the assassination, a guy has been sitting in a jail cell, not the shooter who has been sitting in a jail cell. Well, we'll get into that. Some guy who posted like, what goes around comes around sort of thing. Has been sitting in a jail cell ever since because the sheriff of his town was like, oh, that's a threat.
Right.
And it was because Charlie Kirk had made some comment about a school shooting at some random school in America. And he was like, well, this is what he said about this school. And that school just happened to have the same name as the school in his town. And so the sheriff is like, oh, that's a threat against our school in a very broad reading of it.
Yeah, right.
Everybody who's looked at the case has been like, what the Dickens is going on here? The guy's on but he can't get out of jail because he's on like a $2 million bail.
Right. Just a quick side note. I was wondering about bail last night, not for any particular reason, but we think of bail as always needing money, and because on American TV and movies, they always need money for bail, which is obviously not how they do it in any other parts of the world, because like being rich enough to get yourself out of jail shouldn't be a condition of getting out of jail for a period. And it's like, so in Australia, New Zealand, generally it's like a little promise, like you're out on bail, you've got these conditions, but you don't have to give them any money. It's just one of those American things where it like costs lots of money, and so like a small misdemeanor like this can pretty much, not even a misdemeanor, but can like set you back financially and ruin your life.
Yeah, well, if you don't have $2 million handy, you're sort of SOL. Anyway, that guy, the guy I made up, not the guy in jail, the guy I made up, that's me.
Oh no! Do you want to go to Disneyland?
I want to go on the Tower of Terror, but if I say something about Charlie Kirk, which I'm not going to, I haven't been out there saying anything terribly bad, but I would say that if,
Would you, I mean, you keep your social media pretty locked down compared to your real life name, right?
Yeah, except for on this podcast, which is all transcribed. So
that's true. But like Cam Smith, that could be anyone.
Yeah. So
describe your features to us.
My thing about Charlie Kirk that I haven't really said, and because it turned out it was a bit of a weirdo Dog Day Afternoon situation with this guy, it seems. But like if anyone had contributed to the culture where school shootings really didn't move the needle, and if you wanted to move the needle, you had to go out and assassinate a public figure.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie Kirk definitely played a part in that. And I mean, I saw people getting smashed for saying it was ironic. And
getting smashed for saying just the stupidest and most inconsequential things. But yeah, I mean, the ironic one is, it was ironic.
It's very ironic to be dismissing the impact of school shootings as you die in a school shooting.
Yeah.
Like absolutely. It doesn't get a lot more ironic than that.
I've got a customer, he's an older gent, and a couple of comments that he's made, I can tell that his YouTube viewing is cooked. And he mentioned that, something like Charlie Kirk, and he said, he's so good at arguing with those teenagers, or arguing at university. Like he really
yeah.
And I said, like, why do you care about that? Like, what, what? Who cares? And he's like, it's good. I was like, what interest is it of yours about, like, it's weird enough that a 30-year-old or however old he was going and arguing with university students. But you don't need to be interested in it either. Like, it's such a weird thing to make your thing. Yeah.
In fairness to that guy, my algo has been absolutely smashed. My YouTube algo.
Yeah.
My Insta algo, very gay.
Yeah, less said about that, the better. I mean, unless you want to talk about it. It's just this, you sent me some very interesting things that
I don't know. I think it's
not that I think gay things are bad and we shouldn't talk about them. It's just, it's an interesting world out there of your algorithm, Cam.
It is.
I think I might have caused it as well, did I? Because I started sending you some like really, I think I sent you like a leather fetish thing.
Yeah.
And then you just snowballed. I sent you down a rabbit hole. And the leather fetish thing was like a German company selling giant muscle suits, inflatable muscle suit things.
Yeah.
I think from then on it's,
because I don't actually use Instagram for anything besides finding things to send you, I think it's very easily swayed. So it only took one leather daddy for it to be like, I need to stop sending this guy buxom and babes, which seems to be the default for a bloke's algo on Instagram, because I wasn't using it, and it was like, here's some bucks and babes, and I was like, well, you were playing the odds there, weren't you?
Yeah.
And then one leather daddy, and I was like, Apologies for the babes, sir.
Coming right up, sir. Yeah, that's. I think the last episode, me and Salty talked about this exact thing. Just how desperate the Instagram algorithm is, and you show a little bit of interest in one thing, and boom, it's like, yeah, that's all you want now.
I'm gonna say, the blokes who are interested in chaps getting oiled up, and having their muscles squooged, those blokes are eating well.
Really? That's a good little insight.
But my YouTube algorithm, as soon as Charlie Kirk got glugged, it was like, well, it seems that everyone is interested in this Charlie Kirk fella. Here he is just absolutely owning some teenager, as you say. these absolute dipshits.
Yeah.
And it's like he's out there owning these dipshits and not only just owning them.
Yeah, and it's like he's the one filming and editing it. It's like Cops. Like what you don't see is the concern, not what you do see.
Anyway, I want to go on the Tower of Terror.
Yep.
I'm going to go on a log flume.
Yep.
See some outdated cartoons playing the banjo.
Did you hear that? Are you hearing that tapping?
I am.
All right, cool. Never mind. Play the banjo.
Yeah. Were you tapping something and being like, can you hear that?
Yeah. I was just checking my microphone was the right one.
Okay.
Play a banjo, did you say?
Yeah. Some outdated stereotyped cartoons playing the banjo as I ride around on a log. But I'm not going to be able to because they're going to lock me up.
Go to Star Wars land?
Just because I said, yeah, actually that was a little bit ironic. But there have been... If you want conspiracy theories, it's certainly provided.
Well, yeah, I think here is where I'm a little bit like, because it's just been such a bizarre time where, like, so many people, seemingly normal people, were like, yeah, rest in peace, Charlie. Like, it kind of almost was a pretty clear divide for a lot of people of like, wow, this person's cooked. And then like all the flag flying at half mast and all the like full on Americanism that they were going into with it. Just such a strange time. But then, yeah, the conspiracy sides, there's some interesting stuff. I think the only interesting thing that I've really looked at, and I've tried to get like, look at different angles of shooters that they reckon there's more shooters. There's the hand signal guys. There's which are standing behind him. I think a guy's just itching his arm or something. But there's also Candace Owens who's been trying to bloody make a meal out of this.
Yeah, I got Candace Owens served up to me on Spotify, which I was a little bit surprised.
Yeah,
not super surprised that Candace Owens was on Spotify, but I was like, oh, she's made the leap from Rumble to Spotify. Because she is like essentially a Nazi.
Yes.
Recently banned from entering Australia.
Yes.
But I mean, she and the Nick Fuenteses of the world, their thing about Charlie Kirk was like, oh, he was about to come good on being a proper Nazi.
Yeah, he was about to turn his back on Israel. And she's got text messages of alleged text messages or messages from him saying, yep, about to get off the Israel bandwagon, time to get off, kind of a thing, like 2 days before he was shot.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, what we know about that country is maybe, they're not above just killing someone, killing thousands of people. But yeah, I don't think there's any evidence of anything outside of that.
No. Well, yeah, I think he was about to, according to Candace Owens, he was about to convert to Catholicism and he was going to become, like a Nick Fuentes guy, which I don't quite buy. I think that there's going to be a big turn in American conservatism Well, I mean, there's a battle within American conservatism revolving around Israel and whether it should be supported or not, which is between the evangelical faction, who are quite committed to supporting Israel because it's essential to the apocalypse, and like the America First people, who are quite uncommitted to Israel because they hate Jews.
Yes.
So, both two sides that have very strong feelings about it.
So she's been trying to get the bag on this one, really. She's cashed in, my bestie Charlie. The only really interesting conspiracy thing I've seen is the text messages between him and his roommate. Some places say lover. And I guess why the roommate's been dragged into this so heavily is because they're trans. So the American right can say it's a trans. I saw the phrase trans adjacent shooter.
Yeah.
So you're just near a trans person sometimes. So it must be part of the agenda. But the text messages are like cop speak. I left my weapon in the vehicle, drop point, all these kind of like, not how people talk, but it's how cops talk. But then, and that's, I think a lot of people on both sides were like, this just seems like an FBI, like made up text messages from the FBI to like plant evidence or whatever.
Yeah, but then, if you're going to do that, if you're going to make up text messages to set up some patsy, wouldn't you like Google what does a teenager sound like?
At the very minimum, something would be lit, or like they'd be trying to use it, but it would just be like 5-10 years out of date kind of a thing.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, this guy's cap or not cap. He's one of them. That's what the text message would say. I feel like Charlie Kirk is either cap or not cap. Don't you agree?
Yeah. Bad vibes from Charlie.
Yeah, the vibes are cooked FR.
Yeah. Slay. So that was kind of a little bit compelling to me. But then I think there's a video of him using words like vehicle and things, years before this or a couple of years before this. So I think it's just how he talked.
Yeah, I think that he's just a little bit of a weirdo. It was weird seeing people piece together, because we've had a bunch of like shootings and things that have sort of been outside of the normal scope of things that we've had recently, where it's like these kids that are into weird nihilist subcultures online, where it's more about the actual killing than it is about the any ideology.
Yeah.
And so at first it's like, is this guy one of these? And it's like, oh, he seems to be like a normal, besides the fact that he's done an assassination, he seems to be pretty normal.
Yes.
It seems like he's maybe inured in a culture of violence and he's like a normal person within that.
Yeah, right. Are you saying like the baseline normal for that part of the world is living in a very violent, I mean, it is a very violent society, and
it seems like there's a hyper-violent society, and he identified a problem for him, and he was like, oh, well, I know I've seen the solution for this on the TV.
Yeah. And like, the language, we're talking about the left, baying for violence and cheering this on. And you look at what's actually happening in the country of like military snatching people off the streets right now. And yeah, the violence is escalating just rapidly at the moment.
The weird thing I saw I think that kid probably did it. I've seen there is a lot of stuff. They're like, oh, he disassembled the gun and then he reassembled it. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, I went looking and I think there's just nothing that was really that interesting. Like I looked at some different angles for like, the bullet didn't do this and this caliber wouldn't do this and, all these experts. And I mean, I'm always going to be the guy that just says, I don't know, someone just shot him in the neck and that's what happened. Like,
yeah,
we saw it and there are things always are going to look weird. on camera and in hindsight. You know, all those things, people act strangely just normally because people are strange.
Well, it's one of those things where as facts come out, it's like, well, different facts emerge and you're like, oh, that doesn't gel with the fact we learned earlier, which is going to happen with any major event at the best of times. When you like put a podcaster in charge of the FBI who just sort of starts releasing things willy-nilly. And yeah, I think that's going to happen a bit. You're going to get a bit of that.
Yes. Slide aside, Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, was in New Zealand and he bought some 3D printed guns as a gift. So and it came out after the fact. So they were setting up a new base here or something, a new office here. And he just bought in some guns with him and then gifted them to the New Zealand
police. Or the heads of police.
I think it was the NZSIS, the Secret Intelligence Service. And
yeah.
They're
and then
like,
they have to destroy
illegal.
them. Yeah.
Which is just kind of funny. Just the incompetence of that, they just shouldn't happen on diplomatic or official visits, but they just happen. The American regime is just what they do.
Yeah, have some guns.
Yeah, bring in some guns. I mean, 3D printed, cheapskate, bring in some real ones.
Yeah. So the thing I did see Candace Owens going on a lot about, besides that Charlie Kirk was about to become a massive anti-Semite, was this idea that and I will say it is really weird that they said this, but there was all this stuff about how his neck stopped the bullet. Yeah. And he had such a powerful neck. This is the sort of thing that's going to stop me from going to Disneyland. The head, one of the cops in charge of the investigation, made this statement his neck was so powerful it stopped it's a miracle that it stopped the bullet because it would have gone and hurt people behind him, and this was his final act of heroism.
Yeah,
which is whatever.
No, not whatever. That's so fucked.
It's an objectively weird thing to say, and I can't fault Candace Owens for being like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Yeah. There must be something weird going on.
Yeah, right. So she's saying that's part of the cover-up then?
She's saying, oh, no, the reason that the bullet didn't go through and hit people behind him is because the bullet didn't come from where they say it came from.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm sure there was just something weird about. I don't think that there's some secret other shooter. I find that really unlikely. But I also don't believe the idea that Charlie Kirk had an incredibly powerful neck that stopped the bullet in its tracks.
He was such a weasel. There's no way, if it was one of those steroid influencer guys with giant necks, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. It's just been calcified through abuse of various supplements.
All right. Thanks for that comment, Robbo. Now, just to Google Tokyo Disney Sea. Euro Disney ticket prices.
Yeah, Euro Disney's nicer. It probably has better cheese.
True.
So that's Charlie Kirk, I guess.
Yeah.
It's such a ridiculous thing. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a little bit more on Lab Leak. Remember how I'm all in on Lab Leak?
Yeah. Are you off the Lab Leak?
Yeah. Well, I went back and listened to our episode on it recently.
Yeah.
After listening to, this is why I'm talking about it, Decoding the Gurus, the podcast, which is very similar in nature to us, except for they're more organised and better qualified.
Yeah.
Less handsome, though, probably.
Sure.
I think. Anyway, they did an interview with...
I bet their algos are straight as an arrow, too.
Oh, absolutely. They do not have any inflated German company selling giant inflatable muscle suits.
Yeah, it sounds like a homophobic podcast, but tell me about what these homophobes were saying.
Yeah, so these bigoted duo from Decoding the Gurus, they had a biochemist turned author on a recent show, Philip Marklin, and he was just talking through the Lab Leak stuff and the evidence for and against, and he seemed pretty trustworthy, and I'm off Lab Leak now. To be fair, I was never completely on lab leak. It was just more.
It's a very revisionist take. I think
it was always, it's always possible, and it sucks that the racism has filled the void where we want to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
Racism should be in other voids, just not that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you are interested in the lab leak, go listen to that one. But make sure you're clicking on some weird things on Instagram to make sure your algorithm doesn't get too straight.
Yeah. I was thinking about the lab leak just yesterday, actually.
Oh yeah, what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking it was a little bit like Dan Andrews falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
Whereas remember when Dan Andrews fell down the stairs?
How could I forget?
And the cookers were like, oh, he got beaten up by Lindsay Fox.
Yes.
And it was like, then later on, the Herald Sun was like, oh, did Daniel Andrews get beaten up by Lindsay Fox? And my thing was, well, the first people I saw talking about this were completely deranged.
Yes.
Conspiracy theorists. So if that is indeed what happened, that'd be very strange coincidence that it happened to be that these people were the first ones to talk about it. And it was I was like, that's like the lab leak.
Yeah. But no, I don't think that's fair. Because like it seems like there were credible scientists discussing the possibility because there was a lab studying that very thing.
Yeah, just on the other side of a massive city.
I mean it, but hey, lab techs are going to go get something from a wet market too,
It's a bit of a hike to the wet market.
Yeah, but it's the biggest one in the city. You want the best pick of the produce.
Yeah.
People travel for markets, Cam. Come on.
Maybe.
Anyway, yeah, go listen to that. After you finish this, though. Oh, are you familiar with the socialist Twitch streamer Hassan Piker, Cam?
I am. And his dog abuse.
Yeah. Have you looked into this much?
I have looked into it a bit because I noticed again the algo.
Yeah.
Firstly, my YouTube algo is like very much pro Hassan. It's moved on from Charlie Kirk a little bit. I'm completely up to date on Hassan Piker's take on the New York mayoral race.
Oh yeah, I saw that he was there this week, last couple of days.
It's like, it wants me to know what's going on with the race for mayor in New York.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on Reddit, I'm just constantly getting things about how he's torturing dogs, which when I look into, seems a little bit shaky.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating. And Taylor Lorenz had a good video about this. And I watch a little bit of Hassan Piker if I'm, if there's big political news happening or whatever. He kind of aligned with my time when I'm on the computer, so I might have it on in the background while he's streaming, and like he's streaming constantly. But yeah, the way there's a subreddit called Livestream Fail, which this all kicked off on, and I think there's some, and it gets a little bit like, I don't know, Twitch and streamer drama, because there's the guy, Ethan, what's his last name? Klein?
Yeah.
Because they've had a long running beef. So it's not worth getting into that. But I think the moderators and people from his subreddit also look after live stream fails, I think it is, the subreddit.
That's where I'm seeing this stuff too.
So anything that he does slightly wrong, like they absolute hatred for him on that subreddit as a result of this beef they have. So this like movement and basically what happened, so he's got a big dog that sits behind him sometimes, like, I don't know, 30% of the time. And the dog went to move. Hassan said to his dog, like, get back or whatever. He was head up in the moment. So he snapped at the dog, but not like, people snap at dogs like that all the time. And then the dog either twisted its paw or hit its paw and kind of stumbled back onto the bed and made a little noise. As the dog did this, Hassan was reaching for something off screen and everyone, or someone decided that he was reaching for a shock collar button to shock the dog. And then that just blew up immediately, and it was all over these kind of Twitch streaming drama subreddits. And then people just started pouring through hours and hours of this stuff to find any example of him shocking his dog. And it was fascinating because, I just couldn't help think back to like Alex Jones doing Sandy Hook stuff, where you catch was it Sandy Hook where Anderson Cooper, the CNN guy, this low quality video, and so his face kind of clipped as he turned, and that was evidence of a green screen. They're using a green screen, you can see it clipping, and that kind of like telling you what you're seeing. If no one told me that's what happened, you just wouldn't think that was what was happening, because that's not what was happening. But if you repeat it over the footage enough, people are going to believe it. And so they've just gone through hours of footage, and like he might move something off his screen when the camera changes off the screen, and people are like, oh, he's moving the remote. He's moving the shot collar remote. And it just got out of control and like immediately just blew up. I think he's very anti-Israel, so some of the Israeli news sources picked it up and started running with it. Mainstream media kind of picked it up, and just this kind of really inorganic seeming campaign against him. And I think there is old footage of him and his old dog from years ago, which I don't think makes him look great. I haven't looked at that too much, to be honest, but it's just the controversy around this video, which is so innocuous, and the way people are presenting it, of like, he is shocking the dog for moving off camera because he wants his dog to be on camera all the time because it's a good prop for streaming. But I think Taylor Enns points out in her one, the dog's often wandering around, but it's a big dog, and this is what he said as well. Big dogs need to lie on a big bed because if she sleeps on the floor, she ends up hurting herself. So they have, and it's really common to have a place command for a dog to be like, this is your downtime, you need to stay in that place. Otherwise, you sleep on the floor and you hurt your bones because you're a big dog. So yeah, that kind of like they've made that out to be him ordering his dog to be on screen at all times. And yeah, just how that's changed and been weaponized against him, based on, a 3-second clip that people are misrepresenting. Yeah, really, really quite interesting. And the big one that people say is, even if you didn't shock the dog, she still made a little yelp or a squeal. How come you didn't go check on her as people would? And that's just because they cut the clip before he did. So like a second after the clip cuts, he does go over and check on his dog. But yeah, it was just fascinating seeing how something could be weaponized so quickly.
Why would you go check on your dog? Like, I just shocked my dog. It made a squeal, and I'll go check on it. I wonder what happened. It's like, well, you shocked him, you bloody goose. And it reminded me of like the Amber Heard stuff, and that other actress who I want to say Blake Lively.
Yes, that was. I think the same people are involved, and the same too, like the publicist crossover or something. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just, it seems very textbook at this point.
Yes.
And the campaign seems completely inorganic. And the most frustrating thing is you'll like go into one of these threads and someone will be like, oh, I suppose we're all part of some inorganic Israeli campaign. And you like click on their profile. And I think Reddit has given you the option to hide stuff on your profile, but you'll click on the profile of one of these people and they've taken the option to hide whatever other posts they've made. And you're like, well, that's not helping your case.
Also, you haven't, maybe you're not part of it, but you've fallen for it then.
Yeah.
If you're not getting paid for it, then you're a sucker because you've clearly fallen for it.
Yeah. Also, someone has told you there's an inorganic campaign, like you're aware of the campaign and you're like, well, you know what? Maybe there's a grain of truth to this.
Yeah. It couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Yeah. it's an interesting one, and he, was kind of being talked about as one of the key voices on the left, and seeing it so quickly be smeared. I don't think it's hurt his audience or anything, but there's definitely a lot of people that now will associate that with him forever.
Oh, you just got to throw enough mud.
You do.
You know what else you can do with mud? Smear it all over your muscles.
Yeah, that's true.
This is what Instagram tells me anyway.
Okay, right, yeah. Okay. Hey, do you want to talk about space? I got a couple of space things to finish us off.
Space it up.
So, Dr. Beatriz Villarreal, I've probably pronounced that slightly wrong. Have you heard of this doctor?
No.
So she's done a study that, like, looking at old plates of the night sky, astronomy plates of the night sky, and comparing them to now, and looking at different times when things were present and weren't present. And she's claiming, and there's been a peer-reviewed paper that's come out now that's claiming that, or saying that these are not organic. It's not stars. It's something in our atmosphere. I only just saw this before we started recording, so I didn't spend a heap of time diving in. But there's some claims that it's around nuclear testing, and when we're doing nuclear testing, these lights appeared on these plates in the sky, and that people are saying, oh, it's an alarm system for the universe to let them know that we're doing nuclear bombs now. But I don't think she's claiming that. Obviously, she's not. I don't think it's more. There were things in the sky before we put anything in the sky that could be not stars, basically. And from what I've seen, the discussion around it of people like astronomers and talking about it, are saying this is interesting, but also like these photographic plates over 70 years are so prone to having glitches and errors, and it's not a really reliable source of anything.
I did see one alternative theory was someone might have sneezed on the plate.
Yeah. Like, I think they're that fragile. But I don't think anyone was like, oh, this is a waste of time. I think people were like, it's actually interesting to do that. We've got that data there. And I think why this has got some interest is people, and that's actually interesting to look at all those things to see if anything's changed or, appeared that's no longer there. But yeah, it doesn't sound super reliable. Pretty fun though. The thought that, we've realized that we've been watched this whole time using old information we've had for almost a century.
Yeah. I will say though, if they were coming to warn us about nuclear energy, maybe send a more direct message next time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you've built the bomb and we're just sort of maybe working it out 70 years later, which is too late, I think, for us to be working that message out.
Yeah.
Just send a little bloke down.
Yeah. What's that tweet about if me and my friends had found ET, we would have beat him to death with hammers?
Yeah.
That's probably why you don't send a little bloke down.
Well, they hadn't seen the tweet when they decided, oh, what's the best way to warn them about the bomb? Let's put a light up in the sky that could just be a sneeze.
Well, I think that they were saying that, like, it's not a warning for us; it's them activating to go.
Oh, they're letting everybody else know, stay away from this planet.
Yeah.
Oh well, fair play to that.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is probably 70 years ago was a bit late for that as well.
Yeah.
Just be like, like, was that when we built the bomb? Is that when you're like, oh, these guys are bad news? I hadn't given you any clues prior to that.
Yeah.
All right.
The final one is there's another interstellar object flying through the galaxy.
Like the big cigar?
Yeah. Oumuamua was one we talked about a couple of years ago now. This is a similar one that they're observing and flying on through, and obviously people are pretty juiced up about that. one of the things people are saying, why are we suddenly seeing them all now? And I think it's just because like we know what we're looking for now. Like they've always kind of been there. We just didn't really, we weren't really looking for them because we didn't know they were coming through like that. If that makes sense.
We just thought they were sneezers before.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like when you're looking at the ground and you see one ant, and then suddenly ants everywhere.
Because you've walked onto an ant nest.
Yeah. I did that at SeaWorld in the Gold Coast.
Yep.
I sat on an
That's what I'm going to have to settle for soon.
I sat on an ant's nest there on the hill looking over like the water show or something and got bit by ants.
Oh.
But later I went to which I know we've talked about this before, I went to the 4D cinema and there was like a Steve Martin pirate movie that was like, made for the cinema where like the sprayed water when it was raining and stuff.
All right, that's like 8D cinema.
Well, the actual movie, I don't think it was in 3Ds.
Yeah, so
they're playing fast and loose with the D,
You lose a D for there not being any 3D. So the 5D comes back down to 4D. Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a complicated system. They'd worked it out back then. I was so that's happening at the moment. I did look up some remote viewing just before we started about that.
Oh yeah, have they gotten onto 3i Atlas? No,
of course.
Had a squiz. What's going on Atlas itself?
One fella was collating all the astral projectors or astral viewers. Remote viewers. Sorry, and they
are. I think they're remote viewing on the astral plane a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all
you'd be popping through the astral plane to do your remote view.
And he was saying that a lot of them see it as an artificial asteroid with basically with people in the middle, a mixture of artificial or physical and biological and unnatural sources in there. So basically, people are hiding in the asteroid or it's an artificial asteroid, but there's people in there anyway, which is the exciting part. Someone else said, a different remote viewer said that lots of people are saying how the scientists are saying it's probably ancient, but how would we know that it's actually ancient? Because Alexander the Great, his example was, Alexander the Great had maps of Antarctica without ice, but people say the ice is 20 million years old. I did a bit of a quick fact check on that, and Alexander the Great absolutely did not have maps of Antarctica without ice. I'm not really sure what he's talking about. Did
he have maps of Antarctica with ice? Because that'd be a bit of a development as well, I think.
Yeah, no. I mean, any map that he had involving Antarctica, like probably not super accurate, given where he was in the time that he was living. There is a map called the Piri-Reis map or Piri-Reis map. Pirireis, which I think maybe is what's being conflated here, and that's like Alexander the Great plays a part in it's a bit of a collation of all these old maps and stuff. I don't know too much about it, but it's not something that Alexander the Great owned or anything.
No. Also, these are like Here Be Dragons style maps, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Like these are the guys where they were like, well, we know up to Northamptonshire, and then after that, just draw whatever.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter because no one's ever going to go there.
Yeah. Once they get to Northamptonshire, they'll be satiated with their travel journey.
Just go nuts once you get off the shore.
So someone posted into the 3i Atlas subreddit. They're saying, and I guess people are saying disclosure's about to happen. Which I think they've been saying for a good 30 years, 40 years at this point.
I think I've heard this one before.
Yep. And so this person on the subreddit is saying that, there's a lot of big things happening, deployment of troops to major US cities, the government shut down, a meeting of US military leadership a while back, Trump talking about taking over Greenland and Canada. These are all American, and some more, but they're all American-specific things, which is kind of funny. Like, there's all these things happening specifically to America. that the no other governments are actually doing anything about. It's all about the Americans. He talks about the bunkers. There was talk of billionaires doing bunkers, which I think they've kind of stopped doing that. Now that the billionaires are just like openly fascist, they're like, oh, we don't actually need to hide out. We can just be openly fascist.
Yeah.
Nothing can really stop us. There's no reason for us to hide from anyone because we've got everything.
We need to get these boys back in the bunkers, I think.
Yeah, pop them in the bunkers. Peter Thiel, pop them in there. But through that, I did come across there's an app, and I don't know why I've never occurred to me that this would exist in the past. It's an app called, what's it called? I've got it open, and it's not telling me what its name of it is. Enigma, and it's a UFO sighting app where if you spot a little UFO, you log into Enigma and you upload the photo and be like, UFO, which is pretty cool. So I had a look around me, and there's been a couple of people logging UFOs in the last few months from my part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a pretty good looking photo of something that I couldn't identify. It was in the air.
It was flying.
Yep. But I think they also put historical sightings in there as well, because I looked over around Melbourne and there was like sightings from the 70s in there. I was like, I don't think that app existed in the 70s.
No.
People would have just had to upload it to Instagram then, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and then it gets lost.
Yeah.
Lost all the hot boys.
But yeah, it's a fun app to poke around your suburb and see if there's any little UFO sightings. I think it's been in the media because there's been sort of off-coast sightings, like things underwater. It just kind of look like lights in a harbour, but
that's not a UFO.
No, it's the opposite. Well, what's the definition of flying?
Oh, yeah, man. What even is flying? Well, I'm going to say being underwater is not flying.
Yeah. Lots to think about, eh?
Indeed there is.
The other only other interesting thing, well, no, there's lots, but so you know how Donald Trump's tearing down a big chunk of the White House?
Yes.
Apparently that's where the escape room, panic rooms are down there. So they're saying he's actually using this big renovation to fortify and update all those spots because of what we've learned about surveillance from the Ukraine and Russian war, because all the drone usage. They're like, oh, we need to update our tech in our hideout bunkers. So we're going to smash down it. We're going to do it in the most obvious way.
Yeah.
By getting like camera crews and everyone watching every step of this demolition.
Yeah. Probably there was a simpler way.
Yeah.
Well, but maybe. See, there's a billionaire who's not afraid of getting into the bunker.
Yeah. Hey, well, the bunker, what do you mean? The bloody golf bunker?
Hey. All right.
He's always playing golf.
So it's the Gold Coast. Gold Coast for me.
I mean, they've got some okay theme parks there.
Yeah,
it's just
Movie World, Sea World, Dream World. Like, what more can you ask for? All in the one spot.
SeaWorld is it's the most Australian theme park. You just walk in and, hey, cunt. Oh, that's sea. American tourists would love that.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
Well, Robert, on that highbrow note.
Yeah.
That's it. Where can they find you?
Oh, no, not too much at the moment.
Yeah, same. Don't observe me.
Yeah, don't observe me.
And certainly don't transcribe this podcast and send it to the FBI.
Oh, God damn it.
Hey,
There's so much noise.
I will just say that if you are being like, ha, 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 I am going to transcribe this, that's fine.
Don't you have it to set up to auto-transcribe somewhere?
Maybe. Here's the thing, right? If you're going to dib-a-dob on us, that makes you a dib-a-dobber. And you know who dobs? Fucking babies dob, mate. So feel free to dib-a-dob if you want to be a baby. That's fine. You're going to poo your little nappy as well? Little baby? Dib-a-dobbing dog? Go on, dib-a-dob your heart out. I don't care. Wow. That's you.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks to our supporters as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, it was so foghorny. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. See you, folks.
Don't worry about a thing, except if all our world leaders are alien reptilians. I said don't worry about a thing, except maybe the fluoride in our water supply contains mind-altering drugs. Don't worry about a thing, except whether or not Port Arthur was a false flag operation in which to disarm Australia. I said don't worry about a thing. Except you can definitely hear John Lennon say I buried Paul at the end of Strawberry Fields Forever. Ooh, don't worry about a thing. Except not only did Bush do 9/11, but he also keeps the planes out in Area 51, which, let's not forget where all of the aliens are. Don't worry about a thing. Except Donald Trump is clearly a woman and you just